May the 23rd, 2023, the undisputed Devin Haney took on for what many believed to be his toughest challenge yet, the former 3-weight division world champion Vasyl Lomachenko. For true fans of the game, the fight met expectations. This was a chess match, with Haney utilizing his reach, mostly staying on the center line, with Lomachenko utilizing angles to find his way in the pocket. Now, throughout the contest, the consensus from the commentators was that Lomachenko was edging the fight. Watching the fight live, I clearly had Lomachenko winning because I was paying attention to shots missing as well as body shots landing on Lomachenko's elbows or Lomachenko just barely strafing out the way of many of the shots. And I was storing these receipts throughout because I had a feeling Lomachenko was about to get robbed. And by the end of the fight, Devin Haney won a unanimous decision and is now crowned the undisputed, undefeated champ. So with that, I fully understood that my perspective of the fight could possibly be clouded by bias, since I prefer Lomachenko as a fighter. It was also clear to me based on the comment sections that there was a ton of bias from Haney fans whose strongest argument for Haney winning was that Lomachenko had bruising on his face. So with that, the solution was simple. I decided to break down the fight strike for strike, additionally scoring each strike based on impact and commenting on the general ringmanship as I showcased those punches being landed. The video I released was entitled "Let's End the Debate: Who Really Won?" Within the first 24 hours of release, the video received over 110,000 views, 4.3k likes, 233 dislikes, but most importantly, over 5,000 comments. Let that sink in, and opinions were polarizing. The clear majority agreed with my scoring, many cross-referencing my stats with their stats, pointing out the occasional error, however coming to the conclusion that Lomachenko was clearly robbed. On the flip side, the minority who disagreed with my scoring would often leave the following comments referring to me as being racist, racially biased, a clown, but the most notable pattern from all these responses would be that they'd include laughing emojis and the word y'all. And here's the thing, whenever I hear someone say y'all crazy, y'all bias, it leads me to believe that your comment is written by a bot or you are just an NPC with no thought process of your own. Why do I feel that way? Because you're not refuting my data with your data. Now, the closest to an argument was the fact that my scoring was off from the Compubox stats. To be clear, Compubox is not a computer. It's controlled by two old men who tap a button ringside live every time they believe a strike is scored. Again, I reviewed the fight in slow motion, rewatched strikes that I was unsure of, evaluated them based on impact, and deducted strikes which did not land or were defended. I had Lomachenko clearly winning rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Having Lomachenko 5 rounds up, I didn't bother reviewing rounds 6 to 9. I instead moved straight to rounds 10 and 11 since these were the most dominant rounds for Lomachenko, and I was correct. After review, Lomachenko clearly wins rounds 10 and 11. That in itself puts Lomachenko up by 7 rounds, and the conclusion of my video was that Lomachenko clearly won the fight, he was robbed, and he should be the undisputed champion. This is all based on objective data, and again, if anyone disagreed, I challenged them to watch the fight in slow motion since that's the advantage that I had over them, right? They watched it live, I watched it multiple times, meticulously scrutinizing every punch landed, but yet I was told I am racist, I am biased. However, this particular subject I will be exploring in a future video, so do make sure to subscribe. So what happened to my viral video, which was being shared around the world at a rapid pace, including being shared to various boxing commissions? Well, 24 hours later, I received a copyright strike from a copyright enforcing agency known as TMG, a claim which was allegedly made by ESPN themselves, and of course, to no surprise, every other YouTuber who meticulously broke down the punch count stats for Lomachenko vs Haney also received copyright strike. How many coincidences does it take before we accept that the powers that be are trying to shut this narrative down? What are the chances of all 3 judges being American and all 3 judges ruling in Devin Haney's favor? When Shakur Stevenson entered the ring post-fight, he clearly stated that Lomachenko won the fight. Yet 4 days later, Shakur Stevenson had a change of mind. Stevenson is promoted by Top Rank Boxing. Professional boxer Timothy Bradley commentated the entire fight, stating throughout that he believed Lomachenko was winning the fight, and he was heavily criticized by Haney fans for his supposed bias. Just 5 days later, Timothy Bradley all of a sudden has a change in mind, believing you could sway it either way. Bradley, of course, works for Top Rank Boxing. The argument could be made that the powers that be are doing all they can to ensure the narrative remains that Devin Haney beat Lomachenko fair and square and is now now the undisputed champion of the world. However, by the time they attempted to erase history, thanks to you, the fans who choose to live by a moral compass, men and women of integrity, honor, and truth, I believe we will find out who won between good and evil when we get the PPV stats for Devin Haney's next fight. And listen, even the hive-minded sheep who continue to push the narrative of King Haney, despite the data they've been provided, they were never the demographic purchasing the pay-per-views in the first place. If you enjoy technical boxing breakdowns, don't forget to subscribe, and let's keep this sport honest. Keep challenging the sheep with data, because watch how fast they'll leave the chat. Anyway, take care guys, see you next time.